And welcome to the beautiful PPL Park here in Chester, Pennsylvania, as we get ready for the second annual Army-Navy Cup 2 at PPL Park. Army and Navy doesn't get any better than this, and both these teams come in with an impressive record indeed. As you take a look at it, Navy undefeated in the Patriot League, and Army comes in with an impressive 6-1-1 record. Navy has won its first Patriot League regular season title since 1991, its first year in the conference. As we're getting ready here for the starting lineups at PP&L Park, we welcome everybody to NSCAA TV, as we're delighted to be with you here just outside of Philadelphia at one of the premier soccer facilities in the country. And there we are. Hello, everybody. I'm Dean Linke, along with my broadcast partner, Keith the Batsteak. And Keith, Army and Navy, anytime these teams get together, it's a big deal. But take a look at it now. Navy undefeated. Army comes in at second place.
Yeah, well, I don't think anyone would have predicted this at the beginning of the year, that they would be 1-2 in the Patriot League. But certainly they are 1-2. Outstanding years. They've turned these programs around right now. But it's Army-Navy. They could be 0-20. This would be the biggest game of the year for them. They're playing for what they call the Gold Star, the bragging rights. And I think tonight, having it in the event here at PPL Park, right, with the Army-Navy thing and number 1 and 2, with also, by the way, NCAA ramifications for at-large bids on the line, I think we got an exciting match tonight, Dean.
Dave Brandt's done a great job since coming over from Messiah to coach Navy, and Russell Payne at Maryland, also a great job for Army. And we talked to both coaches moments ago.
You know, tonight for the team and for the players especially is the most important game of the season for them, leading into the postseason. Obviously, you know, they know what they sign up for when they come to West Point in terms of the competitive cauldron that is the rivalry of Army Navy, and you know, they take this season one game at a time, knowing that that when it gets to this moment, everything that they've done over the last 16 games is really put on display in this special contest. So they've been looking forward to this for a long time, but thankfully they've kept their focus from game to game leading into this one. As a team tonight, you know, we look to continue to play our game, our style of play, which is all season long been a possession-based attack. You know, we want to make sure we build. We're best when we build, and a lot of our players get a number of contacts on the ball, and our movement is crisp with our passing. You know, we've had 13 different goal scorers this year, and that's all because of the way we like to attack in multiple areas of the field. And always maintaining possession and trying to play in the other opponent's and play in the opponent's half. If we're able to do that tonight, as well as hopefully be a little sharper in transition, you know, because of the nature of these kind of games, often you have the ball that you have, you know, potentially a number of turnovers. We want to limit those, but we want to be better when the ball is turned over and seeing opportunities to attack, but also being patient in our possession if those opportunities don't present.
Well, obviously it's a great venue, and you know, anything like this is going to be exciting for the guys on both teams to play. You know, what we've tried to do, maybe is the operative word, is just to approach it as another game, and I think that's important for us at least. And so, you know, we've gone through our regular routine and, you know, emphasized to the guys, obviously do their best, show our soccer, play our way, and but you know, both sides will have memories to last a long time after a game like this, both just from the game and also because of the special venue and event.
Now we're going to turn it over down on the field for the presentation of our colors and the national anthem as we get ready for Army and Navy.
Stripes and bright stars, good of
Unbelievable job as this game is presented to you by the good folks of Continental Tire. Continental Tire, innovative technology, driving confidence. Learn more at continentaltire.com. And, of course, those interviews and even that session there by Russell Payne is sponsored by the good folks of Shattuck St. Mary's, a college prep boarding school with a full-time residential soccer center of excellence. Let's take a look here now at the Army starting lineup.
Now, Army playing out of a 4-3-3. They've had a ton of different people scoring goals, 13 different players scoring, 24 goals for, 8 against today. One of the top defensive teams in the country. Goalkeeper Winston Bolt has 12 shutouts, Dean, and he's going to be a tough one for the opponents tonight. And I tell you what, he's just been the man for Army in the nets.
Take a look here at the starting lineup for Dave Brandt and Navy.
Yeah, well, again, what a brilliant season they're having right now. They play out of a 4-2-3-1. They use a lot of players, actually, and you'll see them coming in with substitutes, almost planned out minute to minute and when people come in. But a lot of guys that really go to. Jamie Duboyowski up top, all right, leading goal scorer with them, 9 goals, 3 assists.
Two big center backs, Greenspan 6'5", Vogel is 6'4". The Navy men's soccer team comes in 12-3-2, 8-0 in the Patriot League. They have clinched first place. Army comes in 12-2-2, 6-1-1 in the Patriot League. They have clinched second places. This is the Army-Navy Cup 2 at PPL Park, home of the Philadelphia Union, who has done an amazing job bringing more than just Major League Soccer to this wonderful facility. Navy has already clinched the Patriot League regular season title and the #1 seed for the postseason tournament. And as we said earlier, Army has clinched the number 2 seed. Navy will host the Patriot League semifinals and final from November 15 through 17. Navy has won its first Patriot League regular season title, Keith, since 1991, its first year in the conference.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, so much credit to them. Back in 1991, it was the legendary Dr. Greg Myers coaching the team with the assistance of Rich Miranda, who took over for Greg, and now David Brandt, has taken over for Rich. And in this short period of time, of course, has got them to the top of the Patriot League, something that we would not have expected so soon. Like I said, the #1 and the #2 teams. The Patriot League still this weekend with a couple teams trying to get into the 6-team tournament. We'll talk about that later.
All right, Navy has outscored its opponents 22-4 during this 11-game winning streak that all started, as Keith pointed out earlier, when they brought in Gavin Snyder into goal, and what a job he's done.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Gavin Snyder comes into goal. All right, they have people that can go and score goals, so now all of a sudden he's got the ability to make this big save when in the tight games, keeps them into the game, and then they find their ways to win. And here's a guy with a .36 goals against average, a really good shot stopper, and it'd be fun to watch him play tonight. 2 of the better goalies in the country on the field tonight.
Sophomore, as you said, Jamie Duboyowski from Catonsville, Maryland, leads Navy with 21 points on 9 goals and 3 assists. Meanwhile, the big 6'5" junior defender Joseph Greenspan and senior midfielder Martin Sanchez, arguably the best soccer player on the field, each have 10 points.
Yeah, absolutely, and I love watching Sanchez play. I watched him play since he was a young kid. Just such a soccer IQ in him, and you'll see just his decision making is so good. And again, Greenspan adds that other element with his size. 5 goals out of the center back. Obviously, we can imagine they come from the restarts.
Meanwhile, Army at 12-2-2 is enjoying a resurgent season in 2013 after having 5 straight seasons with double-digit losses. You got to give fourth-year head coach Russell Payne, who was actually Sasso Soroski's first recruit at Maryland, so he learned under the great Sasso Soroski. Give him a lot of credit now in his 4th year.
Yeah, and Russell is just a fantastic soccer person. And, overall, he's a great gentleman of the game. He's been a fantastic student of the game, outstanding goalkeeper for University of Maryland. As you said, worked under Sasso Soroski and then got the job here at Army. And after, imagine that, after 3 years of double-digit losses, all of a sudden he's got them doing what he wants them to do, and the success has followed.
The Army-Navy Cup 2 is Navy's regular season finale, as their next game will be in the Patriot League, and we are underway here. Navy in all white, Army in a very difficult to read striped jersey here as we just get started. And Army now on the attack, coached by Russell Payne, trying to thread the needle, looking for Nick Williams up top, and now they get it out wide. Sent back across. top of the box and handled there by Navy number 16. And now out of the back, the Navy midshipmen taking on the Army Black Knights.
Dean, I had the opportunity to watch Navy early in the season when they played at UMBC, and no one would have known at that time that both teams would have gone on to continue having excellent seasons. UMBC winning that game in overtime, 3-2, very exciting game, and UMBC, of course, just having a tremendous year with Pete Caringi and his son, scoring all the goals. But that was an exciting game to watch. That was early season. They have continued to play at a high level.
Trace Stapley, the right back, will take the throw-in. He wears number 18, played 4 years of soccer at Roy High School in Utah. Quintessential outside back, according to his head coach, Russell Payne. Here comes Navy as they get it out wide here to Blake Bussey. And there's the big man, Greenspan, 6'5" next to 6'4", Derek Vogel. Vogel was a 2012 Patriot League Rookie of the Year, now a sophomore. Greenspan, the junior. And Navy's just huge. They're one of the biggest soccer teams you'll see.
No question. We're standing down there watching them, in their warm-ups. And as you know, Dean, almost every team looks huge to me. But for Navy in particular, maybe even feel a little smaller than normal. Especially this fella here at 6'5". He might even be taller than 6'5". But, decent feet as well, and he keeps it fairly simple.
He's got 15 goals and 4 assists in his career. He's just a junior, so he's got another season left. So he is such a weapon, number 20 coming forward. That's Derek Vogel, whose father actually played collegiate basketball at Loyola Marymount. And Vogel's part of the U.S. Under-20 program, so it's a different kind of soccer player now attending both Navy and Army. I mean, these kids are being recruited by ACC schools as it gets out wide right. Here comes Bussey, and Bussey will drop it back. Sent in. This is dangerous on the turn. Army will get it out of the 18, try to run it down. Navy keeps the pressure on to win it back. As doing the work there is number 9, Dave Arnold, kind of your unconventional number 10, tall, lanky guy. Normally you see guys more of Keith Tabatsnik's size right there. But he really gets the job done for Dave Brandt. On the turn, Navy putting some good passes together. Sanchez springs it out wide. It'll fall to the feet of Doobie. And Doobie's shot goes near post. Not on frame. It'll be a goal kick, but good work from Navy.
Yeah, and have a look at this again, because this is Doobie coming up from the left back position into that thing. You would have thought that he was the left wing coming in, but Navy doing a fantastic job. And again, you said it was Dave Arnold. That was his pressure earlier that caused Army's turnover, so they kept the ball. Very good play by Martin Sanchez to put that ball right back across, and very impressed early on with Navy.
Navy comes in with 11-game unbeaten streak. And a key part of that has been Gavin Snyder. But as you said, he's not the only quality goalkeeper in this game, as Winston Bolt leads the nation with those 12 shutouts for Russell Payne and Army. So 2 quality goalkeepers. Here comes Navy. Not afraid to dial it up. I thought maybe he would. He slanted it back, trying to find Arnold. Arnold keeps it alive. And it looked like Valenstein was going to crank one up, but he decided to pass it.
Yeah, I think he found Arnold making a pretty good run. The pass was just a bit too heavy, and he gets that right into Arnold's run, and he has a good chance of being with a shot 7-8 yards out. So not the worst thing. You'd never get mad at a guy if he took that shot, though.
Bussey will switch it back to the 6'5" Greenspan. As we said, 15 goals and 4 assists for the big center back. Of course, mostly coming on set plays.
A real issue right now with Army is that for this beginning of this game, first 5 minutes, right, they have just been in this back third of their own, not being able to get the ball and connect, and they got a real risk right now of giving up one of these early goals under this pressure. They need to get a hold of this ball.
Long throw in coming from Navy. Army flicks it top of the 18 and they'll win it. Now Army waiting for numbers. Drop it over to the left side. The back line here for Russell Payne is from left to right. Alex Clark, Cameron Nickham, Tanner Vosvik, and Trace Stapley. Beautiful PPL Park here in Chester, Pennsylvania, home of the Philadelphia Union, who have really made this quite the experience just outside of Philadelphia. Their fans are fantastic and just a great organization.
Yeah, I mean, they've done an awesome job with this. I mean, just this park. I mean, coming from Washington, D.C., and obviously D.C. United is still playing in RFK Stadium, and I was just thinking if we could just pick this up and just take it to the Potomac and Anacostia River and find a spot for it, it'd be absolutely perfect. And so you got a great place to come to, and think about being in college playing Division I soccer and be able to walk out onto this park to be able to play your game. I mean, I saw them when they first came walking out, and you could just see their eyes light up. And of course, they'll be hosting the Big East tournament, again next week. And Big East tournament, a lot on the line tonight, could decide who wins the title, going down to a very last game tonight in the Big East as well. And it's exciting with the conferences. This conference already decided, Navy has won it, but playing for their seeding and who they're going to play.
And Navy crossed in, headed out of there by Army. Williams will try to run it down, but not before Guy scored. Gets over there and scored, probably the hardest player on the team, and lives just outside of Annapolis. That's where he grew up. He's the kind of player that Dave Brandt said could go 90 minutes every day, 7 days a week.
Yeah, and that's, you love to have players like that you can rely on nonstop. And we're just talking about, these are for number 1 and 2 in the Patriot League. 6 teams do make it. 1 and 2 here, Holy Cross and Bucknell are already in. Going into tomorrow's games, the final games in the regular season, you can still have American University, Colgate, Boston U, or Lafayette fighting for those last 2 spots.
Here comes Army. Crowd starting to get into it. Falls here now to Mogan. Mogan gets the start, comes over, hoping to earn a goal kick. He runs out of real estate, but a nice run from Sean Mogan.
Yeah, and of course that was the first time that Army has been able to get into the attacking third, and Sean Mogan trying to turn the corner and could not do that. And he's a fairly explosive player, and with the Chicago Fire PDL program, Morgan a junior with 3 goals and 3 assists.
Navy comes into this game having won 4 in a row from 2008 to 2011, and in the initial Army-Navy Cup, what they plan to make an annual event, it was tied last year here at PPL Park by a score of 1-1. Army inside the 18. They'll square it. This is dangerous. Push from behind, and the referee says no go, and Navy will play it out of the back.
Yeah, and I agree with the referee. There was not enough there to call a penalty, and Army all of a sudden turning the corner after the first 5 minutes of pressure against them.
Nick Williams, and you got to believe it's a good crowd here over on the far side as well on this beautiful field. The players feeling the energy. It is a massive field, though, Keith.
No, it's a big. I mean, it's a big field, but it looks huge because of the stadium as well. And these teams play on most of their fields, relatively the same size. Hold on here. But when you're playing in this event, obviously it absolutely looks huge.
Navy will settle it. About 30 out. They'll drop it back here quickly, and it'll fall to Sanchez. Sanchez, quality player, 8 assists on the season, sent back across, and the header crashing in there, Jeff Fries. And now Army will handle the pressure out of the back, but not so well. To go right to the fine head coach, Russell Payne, who not only helped Sasho Sorosky grow that Maryland program as a player. He was an assistant coach there as well and became the first player and coach to win an ACC title at Maryland. Russell Payne did that.
Yeah, and they certainly won their share then, so I'm sure that's not going to be it may be the first. I'm sure there's others, and there'll be more to come. There'll be more to come in the ACC for Maryland, mind you, after this year, but certainly more championships.
Do keep in mind, when he first went to Maryland, it was a tough couple years there for Sasho, but then Russell Payne winning that ACC title. It'll be a corner kick here now for Navy.
Well, I hate to say it, but Russell Payne was in the goal when Maryland knocked off Georgetown the first time that we had made the NCAA tournament, and it was a game at Georgetown that year in 1994, and Russell was a big reason for their victory.
Corner kick here now for Navy. Army-Navy PPL Park on NSCAA TV. Corner kick goes near post. It goes off of Navy, and it'll come back to the Black Knights. Coming up here in the first half, we'll talk to Dave Rowan, the Executive Vice President and Chief Revenue Officer for the Philadelphia Union. And he's so excited, not just about this game, but Keith, you already talked about the Big East tournament next weekend here. Even tomorrow, he's got the New Zealand Blacks and the USA Rugby team, which they're expecting the biggest crowd to see a rugby game here in the United States, so that'll be exciting.
No, I think they're expecting a sellout for tomorrow, and I got a number of friends, rugby friends, coming up, making the trip up from Washington for that game tomorrow. Tried to talk them into this one, but they're a different breed, the rugby people. You know, we'll leave it at that.
This will drop all the way back. Alex Clark, number 26.
You know, we're talking about the Big East tournament next week, but of course there's another big event going to be held here at PPL Park this year, the College Cup. And I'll tell you that they have certainly kept this field in fantastic shape for these games.
Mogan drops it far side, falls at the top of the 18. And Navy able to clear it. Now they can start their attack. Nick Doobie. The left back, 2012 All-Patriot League selection. First team is Doobie. Played up top. Get it out wide here now to Fries. Fries back with his left foot. Good idea. It'll fall, but the flag is up. As Guy scored, was lurking. But made his run a little bit too quick there, Keith.
Yeah, he did. It was pretty close, too, actually. The flag did go up right away, but not a bad idea. It's a tough ball, actually, to get onto that's going away from you, anyways with that. But again, after this first 5 minutes, when it was pretty much all Navy, going all over Army and getting good chances, Army's come back, had a couple good looks in the 18, and maybe they'll settle down a little bit and get into playing the way that Russell Payne would prefer to have them play.
Dave Brandt, whose son now plays for Messiah. Dave Brandt was at Messiah from age 14 till 46 as his dad came there, a professor, and then a dean at Messiah. So he played there and then he coached there forever. And now finally coming over here to Navy. It was a tough decision for him, but what a job he's done. 8-0 on the season.
Yeah, no,
this one is dangerous. Army stands it up, still kept alive. Finally, it'll go out of bounds.
I tell you what, that was pretty poor technique, you have to say, on that one, because for sure he had a great chance just to be able to turn and just knock that ball. He didn't even have to hit it very hard, but was leaning all the way back. And I think Vogel would like to have another chance at that one. But again, Navy knocking at the door and having some good looks there. Army has got to get a hold of this ball for a little bit longer periods of time.
Finally, the goal kick. Thanks for joining us here on NSCAA TV for the final Division I matchup here on NSCAA TV. It's part of the college soccer special. Williams, they wanted the foul here, the Army fans. This is a home game, of course, for Army. Keith, moving over here to PP&L Park for this Army-Navy Cup 2.
Yeah, and every year, if they continue coming here, as it looks like it's been so successful the first year, and good crowd coming in again tonight, that it'll just alternate who happens to be the home team, and this year it is Army.
And of course, as we know, we celebrate Veterans Day. We do it on Monday as well, where most businesses and schools will be closed. But boy, I'll tell you what, Army, Navy around this time, where we salute the great work the veterans do or have done. It's just perfect, I think.
It absolutely is perfect. And obviously, we think about the veterans, all the time, and our current armed forces as well. And it is kind of neat to be in this sort of situation and the Army-Navy Cup, on Veterans Day and during this weekend. And also a reason why I think it draws a crowd. It's tough to get a crowd here, a normal crowd on a Friday night because of traffic and everything like that. It was just so good seeing them all come in.
They're still coming in, actually. Just before we went on the air, looked over the back edge, and there are a ton of cars coming in. But I'll tell you, in typical Army-Navy form, this game started on time, and every second was accounted for. What a great national anthem as well.
No, that was. I'm glad that we were able to catch that for everybody. And certainly kicked off this thing here. This is Navy again, just moving this ball around. They really stretched you out. You know, you see as their outside backs go forward, and it really makes it difficult for the opposing team to try to have any sort of constant pressure on you up front.
Pretty good ball. Navy is in, dropped back over. Making that diagonal run right there, got it back, was Jeff Fries.
Yeah, it was good defensive play by Alex Clark actually to stop that ball getting through into the 18. Clark on the ball there.
Here comes Navy again. That's Arnold. Arnold, who was actually recruited by Columbia and Princeton before choosing the Naval Academy. As we said earlier, Keith, these players are no longer just necessarily about the military as you talk to the coaches. The soccer program is key.
Well, you know, you had mentioned that earlier, and I meant to add to that, and then they were getting into the attack, that, you know, they've always had some players that have been that caliber, you know, in all the teams they've had over the number of years. But what now they're having, you know, multiple players that have these options to go to some of the traditional big-time soccer schools that are choosing Army and Navy, and I think that's the biggest difference because their work ethic has always been second to none. You know, the fitness level, as you can imagine, second to none, and the discipline. So they've always had a few good players with a bunch of support players working hard. Now it's fewer support players and a lot more impact players on both of these teams.
Battle won by Army. It'll roll out of bounds and throw in back to Army. About 17 minutes into this one, no score. Army and Navy, PPL Park. As we bring you in here to NSCAA TV. It's been a fun season on NSCAA TV. A lot of great games.
I'll tell you what, we've seen quite a number, and we talk about some of the teams we've seen, and a lot of people ask me, like, you know, who's the best team? And it's absolutely impossible to say, you know, who has the best shot once the NCAA tournament goes. There are, I mean, you just can't. 10, 15 teams that could have a chance to win the title this year.
Ooh, nice touch by Arnold. Sorry, Keith. This is dangerous. Boy, Arnold wanted it right back.
I think he thought he was offside, that's why he let it go, but he may as well have given it a try. You never know.
Yeah, that was Jamie Dubioski who was giving it back. Dubioski with 9 goals and 3 assists. As we mentioned earlier, Dave Brandt's son now playing for that same Messiah team that he had been a part of from age 14 to 46, the fine freshman. First one off the bench for Messiah. Rare loss for Messiah the other day. They won't be playing for a conference title. You can count on them, though, in the NCAA tournament at the Division III level. Army, several step-overs. Deflected out of there as the big man Greenspan stood up. Dangerous, header, and saved. Good save again by Gavin Snyder, who is 11-0-0 in goal with a .36 goals against average. Comes in and October 21st week, October 28th, the Patriot League Goalkeeper of the Week. Army's Nick Williams, freshman. Ton of freshmen starting here for Russell Payne as he continues to put his mark on this great program. 2 freshmen, 2 sophomores in the back. Stapley and Voskovic, both freshmen as they play on the right side of the back. Christian Clark, freshman holding midfielder. Christian Olin, freshman attacking midfielder. And then you've got Spivak, who didn't start today, but he'll play quite a bit. And, of course, Nick Williams, the other freshman, a young team for Army, having great success, 12 wins on the season.
Yeah, and I think Russell's done a good job in bringing them along this year in putting together, a schedule for his program that has allowed them to develop and to grow, and gain the confidence, which is very important when you have a young team. And, why as it gets towards the end of the season right now that they are playing maybe their best soccer, a little aggressive defending right there. But the truth of the matter is, though, while they have a tremendous record, is that Army is on the RPI is at 61, and that is not going to get them into the NCAA tournament. My guess is that they will need to win the Patriot League tournament, and they'll have a chance if they get to the final. But I would think they need to win that. Now, on the other hand, Navy, if things ended right now and they hadn't won the Patriot League, they would be on the bubble. They're 41 in the RPI, and I think they too have to be a little careful. They probably need to get to the Patriot League final, to kind of ensure themselves getting an at-large bid. And the Patriot League a little bit down overall this year. Had some their traditional powerful teams just having a little bit off year, but still with the opportunity to win the Patriot League tournament and get the automatic bid for the winner of that, which, as you've said, is going to be at the Naval Academy next weekend.
Sent back in and handled again by Gavin Snyder. As Gavin Snyder is from Maryland. It's not bad. You finally get the starting job back, a job that he has held over the last several years, kind of off and on, in a constant battle, and he's 11-0-0.
Yeah, well, if you're going to get the chance, take advantage of it. Don't give any chance for someone to come back in. Snyder's done that, but he's done that with a ton of help too. His team is the hard workers in front do not let in a lot of opportunities against them, and of course, as we've seen already, they keep the ball quite well.
Doobie trying to keep Williams off of it. It'll fall now to Derek Vogel. Great ball to switch fields. Perfectly placed here to Jeff Fries. Out wide, Bussey, number 23. Bussey from San Diego, California. Started every game on the season. Greenspan will come over. I love that play. So many players would kick it out of bounds there. He spins around it, plays it back to his goalkeeper, and they keep possession.
Yeah, no, very composed play there, and unfortunately it all caused because Bussey, gave the ball away. He just needed to play it simple, and he tries to play a square ball, one of the more dangerous balls you can play in this game, and too many of the Army players right there ready to pick it off as they did.
Alex Clark comes in to win it, and here comes the shift line for Dave Brandt as he will go to his bench often, and he'll bring in the shifts. We talked about it before the game started, Keith.
But, it's interesting because, he is well known. This was his formula at Messiah for winning all those titles, was, playing a lot of players and, having a fairly set type of pattern into his substitutes as well. And, it's, not everyone's going to agree with that. I'm not one who agrees. I think you read the game and see what happens. You look right now where Navy's been doing really well, and, do you change it and everything? They obviously have had the success to do it, and the rules allow you to do it, and they could go and score. But, I've always been one that, the more times there's subs, the less flow there is in a game, just by logic. And we'll do our best to keep you up to date on who goes into the games as they do.
Well, Zach Davis is one of them who will come in from Colorado Springs, Colorado, number 14. And he'll come in and go to that right back position. So that's the other thing, too, is it's not just attacking players coming in necessarily on the line.
Yeah, and really the only two players that won't come out are three players, are the goalkeeper and the two center backs.
Visit the official NSCA college scoreboard at topdrawersoccer.com for all of your college score needs. Along with the most up-to-date scores, topdrawersoccer.com provides box scores Match and player stats, video highlights, and game recaps of all the action around the country. TopDoorSoccer.com. Well, Keith, your thoughts on the flow of the game so far? Early on, I felt like Navy was making those diagonal runs, getting it inside, making that third pass even inside the 18. Army able to survive it, and they've made a couple.
Well,
runs.
yeah, Army survived a really difficult first 5 minutes, but I still think Navy's had the edge. Army got in there a couple times, and Navy closed them down. Really only one header, one chance. It's been really dangerous so far, though, for either team, and Army had the shot that was saved, but certainly Navy looking overall a little bit better, like putting their stamp on the game more than Army is.
Alex Yarlshak has checked into the game as Yarlshak wears number 8. It's spelled with a J, pronounced with a Y, and Yarlshak comes in from Weston, Florida. He's another one of those freshmen that Russell Payne giving all kinds of time to.
Yeah, well, Western Florida, Western Football Club down there, an outstanding club in developing players, and Alex 2 goals and 3 assists in his freshman year here.
Sanchez. Boy, you can tell he's got that extra technical ability that makes him special. Connects the defense to the midfield. Williams will win this back. Williams on a bad pass from Navy. Great ball inside. Collision. Bounces back and handled again by Snyder. Good attack from Army.
Yeah, it was a good attack. Army, the player going in there tried to get that shot off. Actually should have been able to get, as we see it right there.
Though.
He got hammered, but he didn't see the guy coming either, and that's why he took a little bit more time, I think, trying to get the shot off. But again, this came from the pass, a square ball coming out of the back by Navy. And that was number 14, Davis, who had just got into the game as well. And, it is a different thing that you don't see a lot where the subs go in for defenders. And
you rarely do. Well said, Keith.
Yeah, and so it's obviously what he does. Who can question the success with it? But it is an unusual tactic to have, and it's probably the hardest position to go in. I say cold. I don't mean like they're not warm up, but where you're not in the flow. I have to say Bussey as well was doing quite a good job getting forward out of the side, out of that outside back, and one of the dangerous players early in the game.
Cold but beautiful night here at PPL Park, home to the Philadelphia Union. As we mentioned, a monster couple months here at this beautiful PPL Park. Home to one of the model franchises in MLS. Arnold, pretty solid diagonal ball, plays it over to Bascom. He's come off the bench. Bascom looks behind him, and he's got Davis. Army will settle it. One man to beat. Greenspan stands him up. A little shove as well.
Hey, Greenspan actually makes it look quite easy back there, too. It's almost like he just kind of jogs into the right place and gets the ball, and, does a very good job holding everything together.
Played back to Vogel. Vogel now over to Greenspan. Greenspan. Switch it out wide right. It'll fall to the feet to Davis. He's one of the captain for Navy. Really the only official captain is a policy for the Naval Academy teams that just have one. And it's dropped back here now to the 6'5" Greenspan, who finds the 6'4" Vogel. Played in the middle here again now to Thomas Sheba. The Sheba brothers, who grew up right around here in Swarthmore. An exciting tandem. The Sheba brothers. It'll fall to Arnold. Arnold, the big, tall, lanky center mid. And it's cleaned up by none other than Winston Bolt, who leads the nation with 12 shutouts. As we mentioned, a huge couple months here at PPL Park, and we are pleased to be joined in the booth by Dave Rowan, the Executive Vice President and Chief Revenue Officer for the Philadelphia Union. And Dave, it's a pleasure having you here. Thank you so much.
Dean, it's a pleasure being here. It's a pleasure being on with everybody across the world. Unbelievably excited to see what a great match going on here in a scoreless tie. And just to see the amount of people that are in PPL Park tonight is really just, it's breathtaking.
Dave, I love your story because you've worked in baseball, you've worked in football, you've worked in other sports, but there's a glow about you working in soccer. Tell us why you love it so much.
You know, it's not just the athletes. It's not just the players on the field. It's everything that is soccer. It's communal. It's that overall feeling that everybody is part of the overall pageantry of the game. You always hear it's the beautiful game, and it truly is the beautiful game.
Well, you've got a beautiful couple months here. We got the Big East tournament coming here next weekend, and then none other than the College Cup will be here in December, and then of course the NSCA convention in January. Talk about all those great events.
Yeah, it's funny, you think back 5 years ago and people, didn't even there was no stadium, and now here's this beautiful PPL park. And as you referenced, unfortunately we're out of the playoffs, but it's our on season with starting off tonight with the Army-Navy game, and as you referenced, Big East soccer. We have a tremendous rugby match here tomorrow night with the New Zealand All Blacks against the United States Rugby, and then again finishing it up with December, and we're very, very proud to host the College Cup here in the city of Philadelphia.
You really can't ask for a better facility as well. Talk about this stadium, because here's the deal. You drive up on it, and it's breathtaking.
It's not only breathtaking, being right along the river, with the bridge in the background, but you think the proximity it is to Delaware, think the proximity to Maryland, proximity to New Jersey, and obviously to Pennsylvania. So it's a great central location. A lot of people wanted to see the stadium built down in the sports complex, but it was definitely the right choice to put it here because we've become our own. It's we not only host obviously the Union games, we do many events as we referenced. So can't speak any more about our partnership with the Delaware County and just with the overall area. It's been a tremendous success across, and it's really helped Philadelphia draw more events than they had in years past because it's a perfect size. NCAA lacrosse. We've had the quarterfinals, and we're in the bid process right now for women's lacrosse again and men's lacrosse. So it's, again, really a venue fits perfectly. 18,500 standing room only. We'll push 19.5 to 20,000 people in here tomorrow night.
That'll be a great crowd as you're hearing the voice of Dave Rowan, the Executive Vice President and Chief Revenue Officer for the Philadelphia Union, which is behind all of these great games coming to PPL Park, of course. The Army-Navy Cup 2 with no score at the moment. It's a free kick opportunity for Navy. They'll try to drop it in the 18. The big man Greenspan. And Greenspan comes in with such impressive numbers as we look at 15 goals and 4 assists. Almost had another assist right there, Dave.
I tell you what, the Navy has some height on that lineup, don't they? You got a defenseman 6'5", unbelievable.
Yeah, 6'5", 6'4".
Very impressive.
Dave Rowan, the Executive Vice President and Chief Revenue Officer. Talk a little about the Philadelphia Union as well, because, yeah, they're not in the playoffs, but a model franchise.
You know what? Yes, we just missed the playoffs. We were eliminated on the last day of the season. Tremendous improvement behind John Hackworth. John has just done a magnificent job of turning around the franchise from last year to this year. We had the 4th most points as far as a points increase across the league. Really have said from day one, we want the team to reflect the style of Philadelphia, to play hard, young players that will develop together, and that's what we really have seen from Hack last year to this year, and again, only bodes well for the future for us.
All right, finally, Dave, let's sell some tickets for the Big East Tournament and the College Cup. Where can people go and find tickets? Talk about pricing. Sell us.
Well, what they can do, we're selling a combination ticket, and it would be great to have people be able to come to all the events, the Big East Tournament, to get the 2 games there, and then the College Cup, being able to purchase the 2 tickets. They can call our office at 1-800-UNION, 1-877-UNION, and then there's another. They also can call Comcast Tix. And again, we'd be honored to have it. You can go to PhiladelphiaUnion.com for exact pricing on the various packages that are there, whether it's for single games or whether it's for the combination packages on both ones. And we'd love to, again, host anybody here. If you've never been to PPL Park, as you said, Dean, it's a spectacular venue. It's our responsibility to make every guest who comes in here feel comfortable, and that's what we do each and every time out.
Here comes Navy trying to put the first goal on the scoreboard here at the beautiful PPL Park. They'll drop it all the way back. It'll find Doobie. Doobie can dance, even wears the number 10 jersey, the left back. Look at Doobie. Couple step overs down near the end line. He'll cross it. Doobie is one of those players that the crowd gets on their feet for, as he makes that run. Well, Dave Rowan, thank you so much for spending time with us. We love that what you did for the Eagles and the Phillies, but we like having you here with the beautiful game.
I'm the lucky one for being here, Dean. Appreciate it very much. And again, thanks for being here today. Thank you very much.
It's our pleasure to have Dave Rowan here on NSCAA TV. Your score here with just 10 minutes remaining. It's Army 0, Navy 0 at PPL Park in Chester, Pennsylvania. Keith, I don't know if you heard Dave Rowan right there, but a lot of great things going on at PPL.
No, absolutely, and why not? What a destination it is for so many things, and certainly for the soccer tonight. And Navy knocking on the door again. There's some exciting play, and you say, Doobie coming up from the left back, again looking like a winger, and I love to see that. They play the 4-3-3, but the three midfielders are tucked in side to the middle, to the center, so those wide backs can get forward. And you have an attacking player like Doobie, why not continue to get him in? It's so difficult for the defense to stay with them.
At least Dave's not passionate about what he's doing, right?
Yeah, how about that,
He loves it.
Yeah, he should get more excited, shouldn't he?
Here's a football and baseball guy that has come over to soccer and just loves every minute of it.
Well, some people see the light early in life, and some people see it later. But everyone sees it eventually.
There you go. No score here at PPL. On the turn, Navy looking for that first one. Run out of real estate, and it'll be a goal kick back to Army. Well, Keith, you were able to absorb the game while we were talking to the good man, Mr. Dave Rowan. Your thoughts on what's going on down on the pitch?
Yeah, I think still Navy keeping the upper hand, and it's just such a typical battle. I think we'd be seeing this sort of battle and enthusiasm between these two teams again, regardless of the record. Both teams believe in themselves a lot, but there is certainly more on the line tonight, and we'll hold on this attack.
Williams, couple step overs. Thank you, Keith. Williams sends it back in. It'll go off a Greenspan. He doesn't totally clear it. Vogel can't get to it. Corner kick, Army.
I think Navy thought that that should have been a goal kick, but there's the Navy players in there. Of course, we talked about the size that they have, and you have to put a well-placed ball in here to find some of the holes in front of the big players to get a good chance for Army. And they two on the ball to pull two defenders out.
Short corner by Army, handled by Navy. Navy can counter. Good crowd here at PPL Park trying to get into it. They square it, played back into space. Too strong, though. Good idea coming out of that corner.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, that's one of the things is Navy had all their players back. Army did have three players, all their players back on the corner. They win it. Army pulled two guys out defensively, and I'm not too sure whether it was the best thing to play the short corner then because they had the two players out of there. But that's the risk you have because there's so much space to counter it, and Navy certainly went for it.
Vogel steps in, gets just a piece of it to win it back here for Navy. 38th minute. Delighted to be with you here on NSCAA TV. A whistle and a foul. It's our last Division I college soccer special, but tune in every Tuesday at 1 o'clock on NSCAA TV as we will follow the last whistle of college soccer as part of the NSCAA College Highlights and Rankings show. So we're not going away, Keith.
No, and actually, this Tuesday when you tune in, Dean, obviously you're going to have all the updates on the conferences and who's in the conference semifinals and things, and that'll be an exciting show to see. And
we'll also have the women's 64-team tournament as well and break that down.
Yeah, so it'll be another good one to see, and tune in at 1 o'clock on Tuesday.
Another whistle here on Navy, and now Army will have a chance to get those striped jerseys that are almost impossible to read inside the 18. Got to talk to Russell Payne about the jerseys.
Yeah, it really is difficult to have a good look at what the numbers are here with these types of jerseys.
Kept on the ground. That was interesting. Don't see that every day from 40-plus yards. He may have mishit that, Keith.
Yeah, I have to think he did. I think he was trying to drive it in and, like head height in there, but you put a ball like that on the ground, you set yourself up for a counterattack. The first rule of those kicks is eliminate the first defenders.
Williams has been battling all game long. He's over there with Thomas Sheba. As we mentioned, from Swarthmore, Pennsylvania. Am I saying that right?
Swarthmore.
There
you go. Up the road in Swarthmore. Good luck tomorrow. They play in the Centennial Conference semifinals. I believe it's against Dickinson, and it's being hosted at Haverford, who is first place.
This is trouble. Sloppy out of the back, and a foul on Army, trying to clean it up as the clock will be stopped. A free kick opportunity here for Navy. A little sloppy in the back right there.
No, yeah, it was sloppy in the back, and giving Navy a very good chance right here. And I think this is one of the things with Army in the back. So we've seen a number of times where they have given the ball away in bad situations, and this time they could pay for it. You know, close enough that you could have a try on goal if you wanted to, but you know, a little bit difficult of an angle, and they've got their big men up there hoping to get on the end of it. Watch for Greenspan, number 20.
So free kick opportunity here now for Navy. They'll mark off the 10 yards. They still have not started the clock. Referee making it his show right now. Free kick, step over, sent in and cleared out of there by Army. It'll fall to the top of the box. Sam Bascom, number 11. It'll drop back over to the captain now, Davis. Sent all the way back to number 22. Guy scored. Scored will make a nice run. On the right flank, he had Evans. Instead, he tried to hit it. And that one is handled no problem by Army. Winston Bolt, number 28 from St. Louis, and he's a player that Russell Payne thinks highly enough where Major League Soccer scouts are starting to look at him.
Yeah, well, Russell is certainly one that would know a goalkeeper, and a good one, and does believe he's one of the top pro prospects in the country in the goalkeeper position. And by the looks of the way things have been going, he will get tested tonight a few times.
Vogel. We're in the 41st minute. No score. Army-Navy Cup 2 here at PPL Park. And Navy not able to lift that one into the box. There were a couple white jerseys in front of the goal, but they couldn't get it there, Keith.
No, they couldn't. And again, you know, a lot of these balls we've talked about on both sides that have been short or low and get cut out by the first or second defenders.
Here comes Williams. Williams wanted it back, rather. It was left over there far side. I believe that was Stapley making that run.
Got 3.5 minutes left in the first half, and 0-0, but not for lack of teams. Both teams trying to get the goal and getting into the final third a number of times.
I mean, you look at Army, they did not allow a goal in their first 6 games until they finally lost, giving up 2 goals to Houston Baptist on September 22nd. So, both these teams, extremely stingy defense played by both teams, Keith.
Yeah, just, you know, Army 8 goals allowed in the entire season. That's just an amazing stat, you know, no matter what. And of course, you know, getting enough goals on the other side to be winning these games. And you know, just talk about the job Russell Payne has done, and just his 4th year. And what they will need to do, though, is as they build this young team, they'll need to improve their non-conference schedule and get some bigger teams on there so that they can build up the RPI as well and have a better shot at getting an at-large bid should they not win the Patriot League tournament.
Well, Keith, as you know, when we looked at this game a couple weeks ago, we thought maybe both teams would come in undefeated. Navy held serve. The last 2 games a little more difficult, though, for Army as they lost only their 2nd game of the season at Holy Cross 1-2, and then they tied Lafayette 0-0 in the last game. Army not backing down here, trying to give Navy their only Patriot League blemish. They try to stay with it. Here's a shot. It could be on frame, but it's not. On the turn is Army.
Yeah, and that was a good job by Army just staying on top of that there. It looked like they were going to lose the ball a couple times, and they kept on it and then get that shot. And, you know, decent turn with the left foot. Unfortunately, not on target. And again, these numbers not the easiest to see, but I believe that was a Christian Clark in there. But maybe we can ask Russell at halftime in the interview if they can get some paint on the numbers for us or something.
It's crazy. This is Alex Clark, number 26, played in. Yeah, that was Christian Clark with that left foot who had that shot a moment ago. Christian Clark is from California. Navy coming the other way. We've got 60 seconds left here in this one. Tucked back, Sheba, Thomas Sheba. And Sheba pushed to the ground there by Williams. There'll be another free kick here in the last 45 seconds.
Yeah, what a poor decision by Sheba there to just even go for that ball. He wasn't going to be able to get it without fouling.
Played in quickly, dangerous flick as it finds the head there of Zach Davis, coming all the way forward from that right back position.
No, absolutely, absolutely. What a good run and a good decision. I think that was Martin Sanchez that played that ball in, and getting on the end of it. Davis.
Vogel. It was Vogel actually.
Vogel got that ball in, and then getting the flick on. That was a really good chance. And again, all because of just a poor defensive decision in the last minute of the game.
Yeah, it was Vogel, my bad, that had that flick, not Davis. And in the final 7 seconds, it is knocked out of bounds after 45 minutes of play. Army-Navy Cup 2, PPL Park. It's Army 0, Navy 0. And your Disney Soccer NSCAA Player of the Week is Franklin Castellanos, the senior midfielder from Iona College by way of Dover, New Jersey. Congratulations to Franklin Castellanos, your Disney Soccer NSCAA Player of the Week. Dean Linke along with Keith the Bat Snake here at Army-Navy Cup 2. Delighted to be with you and delighted now to be joined by the fine head coach of Army, Russell Payne. And Russell, let's get your thoughts on how your team did in the first 45.
Well, I thought that first 45 we weren't as crisp as we needed to be on the ball, and I think we surrendered a little too much possession. We sort of tuned in about 15 minutes into the game and realized that actually we need to be a little bit higher up with our pressure. And after that, I thought we started creating a few chances. As much possession as we surrendered, we actually have, I think, created quite a few opportunities where we can be a little bit cleaner with when we get out. But hey, listen, we've got a young team, and we're trying to suffer through some of the moments, and then play to our strengths when we can.
Well, Russell, you're talking about having a young team, and of course, right at the end there, a foul that certainly the guy running away from the ball. A couple of those happening, and what do you say to them at halftime to kind of relax those players but still keep their intensity?
Well, aside from telling them to stop being freshmen, even though they are, no, we talk about our discipline.
Russell, I'm sorry, that doesn't work. Go ahead.
The excitement piece, we talk about the discipline piece that they need to have, and recognizing where the real danger is, and that's it. Try to settle them back in.
Finally, Russell, quick comment on this great crowd here, part of Army-Navy Cup 2.
It's fantastic. It's quite an atmosphere, and we want to make sure we play our game and we entertain as well.
Great job at West Point. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, guys.
Head coach of Army, Russell Payne, as it's halftime here. Army and Navy at zeros. We're going to step aside and come back with more right here on NSCAA TV.
For more than 200 years, the United States Military Academy has developed cadets into leaders of character. By training bodies, educating minds, and inspiring hearts, the Academy molds young men and women into commissioned officers who serve selflessly in the United States Army.
Hey, Missy. Sorry I'm late.
That's okay. I just don't want you boys to be late for your big game. Okay, have fun. I'll be right here after the game.
Continental Tire, the official tire of Major League Soccer.
Tra-la-la, tra-la-la.
Back to PPL Park. We're at halftime of Army-Navy Cup 2, and it's Army 0, Navy 0. Dean Linky along with Keith the Bats are going to take a quick break here, let you head to the refrigerator and get a soft drink and a snack, and we'll be back with more Army-Navy here on NSCAA TV.
For more than 200 years, the United States Military Academy has developed cadets into leaders of character. By training bodies, educating minds, and inspiring hearts, the Academy molds young men and women into commissioned officers who serve selflessly in the United States Army.
Continental Tire, the official tire of Major League Soccer.
The new fall flooring styles are here, and we've got them on sale now at Lumber Liquidators. Save on new hand-scraped and exotic hardwood, bamboo, laminate, and more. Choose from 53 floors under $2 a square foot. Don't wait. Sales going on now at Lumber Liquidators.
Each year, the NSCAA puts over 7,000 coaches through our coaching education program. Youth, high school, and college coaches at all levels participate in the diploma courses. Join your peers and get educated. Better coaching, better players, better game. NSCAA Coaching Academy. Improving soccer, one coach at a time. Register today at nscaa.com/education.
It's halftime here at PPL Park, and this game is brought to you by the NSCAA, and the broadcast of this match is authorized by the National Soccer Coaches Association of America. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of any image, sound, account, or description without the express written permission of the NSCAA is strictly prohibited. Tonight's match was produced for the NSCAA by Turbo Sports Group. We got more action coming up here on NSCAA TV as we've got the South Atlantic Conference Men's Soccer Championship for men and women on November 10th at 1 and 4 respectively. And then don't miss it, next Tuesday, the NSCAA Rankings and Highlights Show, as we will break down all of the results in all the conference tournaments and then give you the final standings for all of the leagues that don't have the conference tournaments. On the men's side, we'll break down the finals of the women's conference tournaments and also take a look at the field for this year's NCAA Division I, as well as break down 2 and 3. Speaking of men Division I, how about Bobby Clark's Notre Dame Fighting Irish?
Well, I'll tell you, Bobby Clark getting them to number 1, and they could clinch to the ACC, playing for the title this weekend against, if they beat Pittsburgh, I believe they clinched the ACC. UCLA with a great run in Washington, obviously with Tommy Clark. But you look at that top 10, right, very strong. Marquette actually having a loss today to DePaul, and that will knock them out of the top 10. Georgetown with a win today over Villanova, keeping them there. And one team that is not in there, but will be in the NCAA tournament we had on TV before, UC Santa Barbara. I just have to give a shout because they really do it. They're actually number 5 in the country in RPI, and a tremendous job Tim Von Stieg has done after that 4-4 start to them. But top 10 there, again, the top 4 not changing. Who was in the top 4, just the positions from last week with Notre Dame. Again, a fantastic job by Bobby Clark, and followed by UCLA, Washington, and Cal, who had been number 1 for several weeks in a row.
Jared Embick at number 9, Akron. Of course, your top 10 is presented by the good folks from Continental Tire, innovative technology, driving confidence. Find out more at continentaltire.com. Halftime here at PPL Park, part of the Army-Navy Cup. And part of your halftime is brought to you by Disney, where we welcome you to the proving ground. Disney Soccer provides elite athletes and their families a once-in-a-lifetime tournament travel experience. During our Disney Soccer Showcase, athletes have the opportunity to showcase their talents in front of the top college coaches from around the country. Teams who compete at the ESPN Wide World of Sports Complex will receive the first-class service that only Disney can offer, all while playing as a champion at the next level in the middle of the magic. From our youth tournaments such as Disney Cup International and Disney 3v3 Soccer Championships to our elite showcase events, there's a challenge for players of all ages and skill levels. Join us and experience everything Disney Soccer has to offer both on and off the field. And to apply for Disney's Showcase Series or to learn more about Disney's youth tournaments, please visit DisneySoccer.com. 0-0 here at halftime at the beautiful PPL Park in Chester, Pennsylvania, just outside of Philadelphia. Keith the Batsnake, and not a ton of highlights, but a couple, I think, to show you here as the good folks. Let's take a look here. Army.
Yeah, that's Army getting their shot off, and that was fairly early in the game after Navy had quite a bit of pressure. This really one of the only shots on target in the game. This could have been a fantastic chance. A shoulder, very hard hit there for Army. Have another look at that, and I do think it was a fair challenge. And now Navy really did get in quite a few times during the game and had a couple of chances. They've had 6 shots, but really only two on target in the game. Both of those were actually by Army, not by Navy.
Both teams now making their way back onto the field. Navy in all white, Army in those lovely stripes. And what do you think the message was? Well, we'll find out from Dave Brandt right here on NSCAA TV. Your halftime score at PPL Park is Army 0, Navy 0. As we get ready to bring in Dave Brandt, the head coach here at Navy. And Dave joins us now. Dave, your message to your team in the locker room.
Well, you know, I thought we started the game with some good tempo and passing. And for us, that's the key. I mean, we're a very tempo-oriented team in that we want to penetrate, want to move the ball on the ground. When it slows down, it's not the best thing for us. I thought it was okay, but I thought it slowed down a little bit. And you know, we just got off the front foot a little bit, so that's what we needed. We also need some better delivery on, you know, we got deep a couple of times, didn't cross the ball well, so that doesn't help you, of course.
Yeah, well, I actually think that was the comment I was going to make, is that the times that you've gotten into the final third is probably a little deflating sometimes, if it can be. And
sure, you do all that work, and you know, the point is to score, and I think I might have said that in the locker room as well, maybe remind him of that.
Well, if you told him to score in the locker, that's good coaching.
Yeah, thank you, I appreciate that.
Dave, what about this crowd here, though, as part of Army-Navy Cup 2? It's fantastic here in Chester.
Right. Well, like we said at the top, you know, it's a great venue, and it's a little bit chilly tonight, but the wind died down. It's a beautiful night, and sure, it's great to see a good crowd on hand.
Congratulations on all your success. Good luck the rest of the way and the rest of the season.
Okay, thanks.
Dave Brandt, the head coach of Navy, joining us here at halftime.
And it was interesting because I think he was spot on. Obviously, that final third, they have not been sharp and haven't had good deliveries, and you know, they do need to improve that so that this crowd, those of them that are actually rooting for Navy, can get on their feet. And if they're rooting for Army, they're hoping that Russell Payne's message to their young players can be, don't be young anymore, you know, and get out there and take care of the pressure and the excitement of this game. And you know that happens. You're on TV, and it's Army Navy, and it's PPL Park, all that together for a young team. You know, can't force some of those errors that they've made.
Good shots here of the crowd, all bundled up on the far side, anticipating an announced number of 5,000 plus. Last year, almost 4,000. I think they have more than that here tonight at PPL Park, and so good.
And I tell you, one of the things about that, Dean, that's impressive is because, in all honesty, it's a Friday night at 7 o'clock in Philadelphia area traffic, and to see the crowd that has shown up for this is certainly impressive. And you know, both to watch these teams and I think, you know, also to honor our veterans and our future armed service personnel who are on the field right now on Veterans Day.
Wow, that's what we're talking about. You see the bridge just over to the right there as we come inside here to PPL Park on a chilly Friday evening in Chester, Pennsylvania, just outside of Philadelphia. Give us the first half stats before we start the second half, Keith.
Well, the shots were Navy had 6, Army had 4. However, 2 of Army's were on target. None of Navy's were on target. Corner kicks, 1 each. Saves to 2 on target. The Navy goalkeeper has 2 saves, Gavin Snyder. And then fouls, it was 6 fouls against Navy, 5 fouls against Army. Couple bad fouls in there, but overall it's just been a spirited game. Teams battling and players battling hard in their one-on-one duels, and we'll see if one of the teams can knock on that scoreboard early in this half and really open up this game.
Russell Payne assisted on the bench by Steve McAnulty and former Maryland star Michael Marciano, as a couple Terps on the bench here for Army.
They got a couple Terps. Michael Marciano, local guy in Baltimore that went down to Maryland and had a really good career. A little bit injury riddled at times, but a really good, smart player too. A good guy. I think he'll become a very good coach. And had a very good soccer IQ.
Meanwhile, Dave Brandt in his 5th year at Navy, 17th year overall, 1985 graduate of Messiah. As the cannon going off here on PPL Park. Keith DeBassi jumped once and twice.
Yeah, exactly. I just don't know where that's aimed at. But
Vogel, the big 6'4" center back, plays it to the 6'5" Greenspan. A little bit of trouble here. Greenspan will run back. Has Snyder in front of him, the red-headed Gavin Snyder. Underway here in the second half. No score between Army and Navy. As we mentioned, it has gone Navy's way 4 out of the last 5, and also a tie. Navy won 4 in a row from 2008 to 2011 by a 1-0 score. Last year, Army was able to get one, and they tied at 1-1. A good result for Russell Payne. Staying into the game, wearing number 14 now for Navy, the captain, Zach Davis. And Davis will square it to Sanchez. Sanchez, he can drop it on a dime, and he'll switch it far side. As that's Blake Bussey. Arnold, I see what he means by unconventional, is you don't normally see that big of an attacking midfielder, but I like the way he plays, and he earns a corner kick.
No, an Arnold player that just works hard, but what he's good at, he's actually good at when he's just outside that 18 and maybe between 18 and 30-some yards, at slipping players in as well. Good passing off the dribble.
Sanchez with the corner kick. Arnold, like Keith Tabasik, also has a 4 handicap on the golf course. Here's Senin looking for Greenspan. It'll fall back to Bussey. That's when you know you've got it made. You know, you're at Navy, you're a big-time soccer player, you're getting the good grades, and you have a 4 handicap.
You got a golf course right there for yourself and everything. You do have it made there.
He's just one of those young men that everything he does well. He's also played several other sports in high school.
At Mount St. Joe's High School in Baltimore. A number of Baltimore players and Maryland players on the field, a couple for both teams.
Here comes Army now, inside the 18. Down near the end line, bumped off the ball. Referee will let him play on.
That was a good piece of defending by Navy, as one-on-one, and Williams really trying to make something happen. Not only Navy get one defender there, had a covering defender as well, just in case.
Sheba somehow keeps it in bounds. It's still in bounds. And now Williams trying to drop it up top. The big man Greenspan comes over. Switched far side there by Guy Scored. Scored will get it out wide to Bussey. Bussey plays it back in. Scored trying to get to it. Knocked out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Navy. A lot more action here as the game is opened up in the cool, well, strike that, cold air. It's beyond cool at the moment now, Keith.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, November or whatever we are today, it certainly could be a lot worse. Yeah. Exactly, especially when you're right off the river. And, fortunately do not have any really wind to speak of in here, or it would be a bit uncomfortable.
Throw in back to Navy. My name's Dean Linke. I'm here with my longtime broadcast partner and longtime Georgetown coach, 20-plus years, great success. I'm talking about Keith the Bat Snake. And Keith, you're from the Georgetown area, so once again, you're familiar with these programs because of where you live.
Well, certainly with Navy, and watched the Naval Academy's programs for many, many years. A big, rivalry that we had at Georgetown, non-conference rivalry, and had a lot of fun playing against Dr. Greg Myers, one of the legends of the game, and Rich Miranda, outstanding player. We're just down at William & Mary, and he was a fabulous player at William & Mary, then went on to Navy as their coach, and, now seeing the program as it is going right now as well.
Army trying to make a run. It'll go off of Bussey. Throw in for Army. Top of the 18, Greenspan. And the USA chant is going here. That makes you feel even more special being a part of Army-Navy Cup 2 as the fans chanting USA here is big Veterans Day weekend.
Veterans Day weekend, and if you're chanting USA and rooting for them, you cannot lose today either. They're smart fans as well as patriotic fans.
You can't ever lose when the Army and Navy are on the field. Well said, Keith. Williams trying to hold it up for Russell Payne's Black Knights of Army. Vogel looking for options. He'll square it to Greenspan. High pressure on Greenspan, and little bit too casual there.
Just going to say that exact word, too casual on the ball, Dean. You're exactly right. And he, he is a bit casual and composed, and there's a fine line with looking really good and looking really bad between being casual and composed.
Arnold drops it perfectly, finding the feet of Bascom. Bascom will get it out right to Bussey. Blake Bussey back into Arnold. Arnold, what a nice trap. Falls back here now to Bascom. And Bascom turned right into the stripes of Army. That was Arnold doing the work to come back and help Navy win it. Little dancing going on here by Sheba, and Sheba keeps it down. And a diving save there by Winston Bolt. Take another look from Sheba.
Yeah, Sheba, an excellent job. Just a couple stutter steps and pushing the ball to the side, just enough to get the shot off. And, you know, he grew up just up the road in Swarthmore, Pennsylvania, and probably honed his skills on Clothier Field, Swarthmore Stadium. I would have loved, I'm sure he's got a lot of fans and friends and family in the stands right now as well. But a good thing and a shot on goal. Navy's first shot on goal, actually, for the game.
Scored with a pretty good ball and climbing the ladder there. How about the timing of the little man, J.B. Dubiowski? That's what he does.
Yeah, no, he was climbing up the back there of the defender and you know, kind of sneaking in behind the defender as well. And you ball watch just ever so slightly, and you know, and you lose the man. And Dubiowski is very good at that sort of movement and going around. You know, very quick player from another one of those players from my area, Baltimore, Loyola Blakefield High School.
3-year letter winner in soccer, 4-year letter winner in football, big-time kicker, and 3-year letter winner in track is Dubiowski from, as you said, Loyola Blakefield High School.
So again, this time Navy, you know, has started the first half getting a lot of pressure on Army, but no shots on target. Now they've had a couple of good chances, one very good shot on target just a minute ago, and see how Army's young team can deal with it.
Army about 10 yards from the end line. One too many dribbles, handled there, and here comes Arnold. Good ball, first time up, and Arnold will get it right back. Arnold, I love that. One touch, keeps it going here for Navy, and they'll run out of real estate. Dean Linke, Keith Tabatsik, one of the best stage managers you're going to find in the business. Steve Burke also in the house, Keith.
Yeah, I tell you what, one of the biggest college soccer fans there is in the country, making the trek up to PPL Park, and I understand he's going to be watching some college soccer tomorrow, little Division III. It's with Swarthmore, and then Penn Princeton, a very big game over at University of Pennsylvania on their homecoming. Good luck to both Penn and Princeton, Rudy Fuller and Jimmy Barlow. And Steve Burke will be watching them all.
Jamie Dubiowski, number 7, will get it out wide. It'll fall here now to Davis. Davis with that left foot, looking for white jerseys. Nobody continued their run, though, Keith.
No, and I think it's one of the things I was actually watching on both ends when those one-on-ones are happening on the wide. Not seeing enough movement in the box for players either waiting for the crossers or at least to be available for a pass.
On the run here, Spivak is in. Spivak pushed down by Vogel, and a free kick here for Russell Payne's Army team. Spivak on the turn.
Yeah, absolutely, and that was a good call by the referee, and really over-aggressive by the defender. He was getting beat there and takes the guy down. He had some cover behind him, and now obviously a dangerous area for Army to try to get the ball in. Got a couple big players they've got to get around to get a good chance. And, you know, one of the things you hope to see here, we talked about the movement in the box, is as we watch this develop, will we see movement out of the Army players ahead of time before the ball is served in?
Sean Mogan looks interested over the ball. Quickly taken by Mogan, and right off the head of a Navy player, and he goes down like a bag of bricks.
Yeah, they need to stop this right away. They did. He's up now, but he does not necessarily know whether he's at PP&L Park or LL&P Park right now.
Dubioski looks to be fine. 9 goals and 3 assists here in his sophomore campaign. Just 1 goal and 1 assist a year ago. Only played 579 minutes. Gets his chance here now for Dave Brandt and the Navy midshipman, and he is getting it done.
No, he is. I'll tell you what, he must have quite a hard head, too. Take that and just kind of shake it off and go up.
Army can make it 1-0. A little bit of lapse in the back, and tracking back to clean it up, though, was Bussey, the right back, getting there just in time. As a little bit of a lapse, and lurking in front there for Army. Cody Gary was there, but a great job by Bussey to track back.
He tracked back, and that's because Gary gave him the chance to get back as well. He needed to one-time that as soon as it came down. Once he let it bounce, it gave the chance for Bussey to be able to recover, and really an outstanding chance there. You see the referee, Raphael Zudzik is what he told me, okay? All right, I talked to him a lot before the game, and we went over his pronunciation, Zudzik, and he just said to call him Raf, by the way, the referee Raf, and he's doing a pretty good job there. Is that a tester, Dean?
Corner kick for Navy. Martin Sanchez. Score, Army 0, Navy 0. Sanchez delivered with his right foot, and the big man Greenspan comes crashing in. 5 goals already on the season. Looking for number 6 to match last year's.
No, what it was there, Greenspan made a really good run off the ball, and we catch the end of it there, but right before that he had done a run going away and then coming around a whole group of the Navy players, and almost like they were screening for him and wide open, but it was the service that made that as well, and Greenspan actually really should have been able to get up and knock that on target.
And Army now making some changes as well. And here comes Dave Brandt with one of his shift changes, as he's trying to get into the game. Number 15, Jeff Fries, who started, and number 10, Nick Doobie, who also started, along with number 16, Grant Valenstein, who also started. So 3 starters getting ready to come back in. Meanwhile, Joseph Shabrias checked in for Army. And Shabrias wears number 2. Dubioski. Quick touch from Sanchez. Will find Davis, up to Arnold. Arnold gets just a piece of it, makes a great tackle on his own to save it. And then Arnold will lose it. After he makes and gets that ball back, I think he needs to pop it out wide right.
Absolutely. He did all the hard work to win it and then just give it to somebody else to continue going. In fact, not only give it to somebody else, but then he could leave his player to get into the box.
Bascom has looked good wearing number 11, and now it'll come back to Army.
So I think one of the things we heard Russell Payne talking at halftime is, obviously he has a young team and needs them to kind of the young players to settle down, and I think they've done that. A little bit better play, probably still needs to be sharper to create things, but you got a good flow in this game, and I think what's going to happen is, will a team take advantage of that time period when they have some momentum going, or make the big play defensively to keep them in the game. Again, really only a couple of shots that have tested the keepers to any extent whatsoever right now. I think Army needs to have a little bit more going, in the midfield to get it. And they got 2 players. Dean, they got Jason Lewis, Christian Clark. They got Lewis and Clark in the midfield. They should be able to lead the way, shouldn't they?
Keith DeBat's like a comedy act here. Longtime coach at Georgetown. La Jolla's in the top 10.
Hoyas with a good win to finish out their regular season today against Villanova, 1-0, and a Brandon Allen goal. Congrats to the Hoyas.
Throw in for Navy. Dubiowski, what a ball to Arnold. Arnold. Dubiowski, good touch. Played inside. Valenstein, who just came on, took the shot, deflected by Army as Army tries to play it up top. They'll let him play on. Here comes Army on the attack. Number 2, Sabrias, who just came on for Russell Payne, and really it was 2-on-2 right there, and they could do nothing with it.
No, exactly. Derek Vogel had lost that ball in the midfield, thought maybe it got fouled, and Army going on a pretty good opportunity there when you're 2-on-2 with quite a bit of space. But basically both players running in straight lines, easy to mark when you do that. You got to get a little movement in and out to tries to lose your defender.
Bussey played inside to Arnold. Arnold will spin. It'll fall to the top to Sanchez. Sanchez trying to thread the needle. I think he was actually looking for Dubiowski, and getting in the way there was Valenstein.
Yeah, he was. Not a bad idea, and he actually didn't need to be quite as on target as he was trying to be. A bit of space for margin of error, and if you'd hit that in, Dubiowski has a chance to get in behind.
Here's Nick Doobie. Great left foot. Doobie played quickly back here to Valenstein. Valenstein looking far post. Crashing in there, number 15, Jeff Fries back into the game for Dave Brandt. As Dave Brandt, I'll tell you what, Keith, bringing that energy from those 3 starters has looked good here now for Navy.
Well, it's one of the things we talked about. These guys both teams are fit and everything. You got players coming off the bench in 2s and 3s, and it's going to cause some issues. But it causes issues both ways potentially. You get more energy in it, but you also risk losing some continuity. As different players come in. And that's the trade-off or the balance you have to decide. Regardless of how many subs you use, even if you're just using 1 or 2.
Played into space. Valenstein, number 16 for Navy, with the right foot, back across the 18, miss hit. And the goalkeeper's allowed to handle that one, though, as it was not played back directly to the goalkeeper. We're at PPL Park. It's been a fantastic season here on NSCAA TV, the newly minted NSCAA TV. And I want to thank Rob Kehoe, the Director of College Programs for the NSCAA, for a fantastic schedule in what has been a launch of this brand new television station. Rob joins us now. Rob, it's been a pleasure to be with you all season long and to wrap it up here in front of another great crowd.
This is special. And as we went into what we might consider an exploratory year of doing live stream webcast games after 8 wonderful years on the soccer destination channel, Fox Soccer. This has been a really unique year, and as you said, we've been able to put together a special schedule, and then to conclude the season with a game here with Army and Navy, both of them. I think we calculated we've got 24 wins, 5 losses, 5 ties between the 2 teams. Playing at PPL with this crowd is very, very special, and just to see the launch of NSCAA TV has been a wonderful addition to not only what we're able to provide for visibility for our members, to not only see college soccer games, but other features about the NSCAA. This is special as being able to be in an event like this.
Greenspan has it as we're joined here in the booth. We have the best view you could possibly imagine here at PPL Park. And here's the thing as well, Rob Kehoe, if you take a look at it, I don't know how you do it every year, but you think about Akron, you think about Louisville, you think about UConn, you think about Maryland, you think, you could have the Final Four with the games that you put on the NSCAA TV.
Well, you and Keith talked about it earlier as far as the College Cup coming here in a little over a month, and to think about who could possibly be here, we have no idea. I mean, the demand is high. The margins are very slim.
One of those teams is going to be there. I'm going to say it, though, that you had on the air.
Yeah, one of them should be here. We hope for that because we've had many top 25 teams. And even as you look at UMBC, team that we featured against Loyola, they're in the top 10. They've been there all year after the initial surge in the year, and they haven't let up. And who knows the surprises we might have from the soccer version of the VCUs or the Butlers coming into the College Cup.
Hearing the voice of Rob Kehoe, the Director of College Programs for the NSCAA. We're here in the second half, 66th minute. It's no score. Army and Navy here, part of Army-Navy Cup 2, the second annual, as this will be a regular part of PPL Park. Tracking all the way back for Navy is Nick Doobie back into the game. And Rob, tell us what else is going on in college soccer, because I know you're working diligently to protect all the great merits of men's and women's college soccer. Hang on, Dubioski is in. Dubioski taken down top of the box. Will he get the whistle? He won't. A solid tackle from Army. Rob, go ahead.
Well, the major issues right now for all of college sports relates to the NCAA governance structure for Division I athletics, and the NSCAA has been right at the center and actually taking a lead with coach associations to be a part of the conversations with the NCAA Board of Directors and Presidential Advisory Group to talk about the integration of coach associations into the formal structure of the NCAA. And certainly that's with a view of not only advancing the sport of soccer, but all intercollegiate athletics with the experience educationally that athletics provides for the students who have the benefit of coming to college academically, have that experience, but also learn the disciplines, the habit patterns that are gained through soccer that help to support all of the other journey. And really the whole goal of athletics in college should be to help build a lifestyle of what I call performance excellence for and beyond the athletic experience in college.
So well
and
said.
We're right at the front of it. The NSCAA is right at the front of that in terms of interacting with the NCAA and other coach associations on this.
Well, one of the other great assets of what you're doing for the NSCAA is you're also putting the spotlight on Division II and III, NJCAA, NAIA, and you're doing that with the review and highlight show as well. Great exposure for teams maybe we wouldn't know about.
That to me has been so special, because as you think about the fact that we've benefited from growing the visibility and popularity of college soccer through the NSCAA Game of the Week over the years through the Fox Soccer channel, and that we discontinued the relationship with there because Fox Soccer went away, to have NSCAATV.com and then have the highlights and rankings show each week to provide exposure for all the divisions, both genders, has been an exceptional opportunity to not only represent the various membership groups that we have in the NSCAA, but to showcase college soccer at all the different levels, and to, again, give the recognition to the young people that are playing these games at high levels and to enjoy it. And to watch the show week in and week out, it's a very, very special production. And I really applaud you and the staff who've been working on this internally, our staff at the NSCAA, Kyle Lang at the studio, working with you and Charlie and Sarah. It's just been an exceptional view for the game.
Guy scored, number 22, coming forward. Finally, Rob Kehoe, to wrap it up, as we thank you for what has been a wonderful season. I've truly enjoyed it. Special venues, special games. All the college coaches, for the most part, will come together here in this great town of Philadelphia for the NSCAA convention. A lot of work to be done as well during that week, and a lot of fun.
Well, I mean, when you think of, here we are in Philadelphia tonight, we have the opportunity to come back for the Men's College Cup in December 13th through 15th, and then the NSCAA convention.
Dancing around, Doobie forward, Doobie takes the shot. Not on frame. Rob, tell us more about the convention, please.
Well, coming back to Philadelphia, January 15th through 19th for the most special soccer event for the soccer community in the country annually. And to think of building this to the College Cup, to the convention in the city of brotherly love is just a tremendous opportunity. And to meet with the Union people today and tonight, who are wonderful hosts. They are so excited about the possibilities of partnering with the NSCA, with college soccer, as well as to be supportive of the convention. Certainly, we get the brotherly love out of that.
No doubt. Dave Rowland was great. Rob, it's been fun. Thank you so much. Been a pleasure being on the road with you. Rob Kehoe, the Director of College Programs. Thanks for all you do, Rob.
Thank you, Dean. Excellent job to you and Keith and others who have joined us on the productions this year.
Well said. Rob Kehoe, the Director of College Programs, kind enough to join us here at PPL Park, and we'll bring back in the just mentioned Keith Tabatsik for the final 20 minutes. And Keith, you get the feeling something's going to break right here as dangerous opportunities for both teams.
No, you really do feel that way, and you know, like you said, a couple good chances going both ways, and you know, but you are talking about two teams that don't give up really good looks at the goal very often. So when you do get that good look, you really have to take advantage of it. Not only take advantage of the shot, but of course you have to be two quite talented goalkeepers as well.
Navy has scored 29 goals on the season, given up just 14. Meanwhile, Army's given up just 8 and scored 24. So stingy defense from both teams. Dubioski has not been stingy. 9 goals on the season. Flag is up. I thought he had weaved his way back in onside, and his hands in the air. He doesn't like the call.
He does. The assistant referee felt he had gone, you know, come from the offside position back on, but not in time.
Trying to get in here for Navy. Thomas Shivo, so dynamic here in the second half, can make his way back in. Alex Evans also trying to get in as Dave Brandt searching for that goal. Now Navy has an opportunity. Great work by Sanchez. Every time he seems to find an open man.
You know, he does, and Sanchez also does it somewhat effortlessly as well. You know, he gets the ball, he sees the field ahead of time, and he's a guy that he's always surveying the field, looking around, and obviously makes it so much easier when the ball gets to you.
Vogel climbs the ladder. Flag is up anyway. Doesn't matter. 73rd minute. No score. We'd like to thank Choice Hotels, the official hotel sponsor of the NSCAA. Where the game takes you, Choice Hotels makes getting there easy. Visit choicesportstravel.com to book your hotel today. Army 0, Navy 0. Dubioski. He has been extremely active here in the second half, Keith Tabatsik.
Well, I mean, Dubioski, to be effective at all, has to stay active. That's what his bread and butter is, moving around and buzzing around, trying to get in behind. And, you know, he gets the ball to his feet. He's hard to knock off, a good low center of gravity.
Great run here by Doobie. Doobie's look sharp. Squaring it back across to Valenstein, and it'll go out of bounds. Corner kick, Navy.
Yeah, and we see that just an excellent defensive play as well. I think that was Tanner Vosvik or Cameron Nickham staying right with his mark there to block that out. And again, as we've said, the numbers for Army are not the easiest to see, but one or the other.
Corner kick, Navy. Boy, he dropped that one right at the top of the 18. I don't know if that was the plan or not.
Now, my guess is when you have players the size of Greenspan and Vogel in there that you're going to actually want to try to get that a bit closer to where they are.
I agree, Keith. That was Sanchez, who's been so good tonight, though. The little man, Dubioski, taken down outside the 18. Referee letting him play here in the second half. The crowd trying to pack together to stay warm. It's chilly here in Chester, PA. Left side, another good ball to Doobie. Doobie's dangerous. Closing it down, though, was Army. On the turn, Bascom will run right into the brick wall here, and now Army can go the other way. Russell Payne has been standing the entire time in his coach's box. Dave Brandt's done the same for Navy. Army, Navy, it's one of those enough said. Great tackle coming in. Army with the shot and the save. What a brilliant shot and the save by Snyder.
Yeah, and I tell you what, with Snyder, the thing is, too, he started moving one way and saw the ball turning, and he managed to stay with that and then stay on the rebound. Unfortunately for Navy, no one sniffing for the rebound quick enough, but what a good shot on a half turn there. Just, again, out of nothing, and maybe that's how this game's going to be won tonight, just something coming out of nothing, despite all the good soccer that's been going on.
Dubioski can create his own space. He'll fire. Thought maybe it might have been a handball. Winston Bolt will come out. The crowd getting into it, Keith, and this game has picked up several degrees.
Yeah, it definitely has, and I actually think that they felt the handball was actually on one of the other Navy players on that shot. He might have blocked his own player's shot on it.
It actually did go off the back of Bascom, never touched anybody's hand. Played neatly down here by Scored. Over to Sanchez. Sanchez always just touches it one time. That ball was not as good, and then the foul there by Sheba, who's brought all kinds of energy off the bench for Dave Brandt. Dave Brandt, 5th year at Navy, 17th year overall as a head coach. His daughter Alexandra and son Danny also now stars at Messiah, and Alexandra was named the 2012 NSCAA National Player of the Year after leading Messiah to the NCAA title. Well, Danny is a freshman this season. That's not bad.
Not bad at all. You'd be proud of that soccer family.
National Player of the Year and a national champion. And Dave Brandt, who's not been able to get to any games, though, but I'll tell you talk about a close family, so connected, talks to his kids every day pretty much. Here's Williams. Cross midfield. Army has been dynamic at times. They have jumped on some casual defending in their offensive third and almost made Navy pay for it.
Yeah, well, actually, right there, Doobie, who's been doing a really good job attacking in the final third, trying to dribble in the wrong place of the field, though, and he loses the ball and then fouls right afterwards. And it's interesting. He's the left back. It's one of the first times we've seen him with the ball in the defensive half of the field. He goes forward so much.
Army over the ball. Vosvik. Tanner Vosvik, number 5, the center back. Played for Stevie Nickel with the Great Bays program. With that right foot, sent across. It's the big man Greenspan who will head it out. And cleared by Sanchez. He had more time to do something with it. It'll come right back the other way for Army. Army, couple step overs here. Alex Clark. And it'll come back again to Vosvik. Vosvik, who sent that last ball, it tries again. And that one over the crossbar. Snyder was there. And it's not going to be easy to try to drop bombs inside the 18 and beat those big men.
Well, it's not. And actually, a ball like that where it got a little more isolated has somewhat of a chance. But the balls that they're playing in on the restarts, really don't have much of a chance unless they get a whole bunch of movement before the ball comes to try to open up those spaces and get the big man out of the key areas. And it's one of the things, Dean, it's probably one of the things I've said more than anything else on restarts from team to team is they hit the ball too soon when the players haven't done any movement to open things up.
Jordan Lee is now checked in, and he is a diminutive one as well who will try to make his way amongst the trees back there for Navy. 79th minute. It's Army 0, Navy 0. Army-Navy Cup 2, PPL Park. Russell Payne dancing around, trying to direct some traffic here. One back by Army, middle of the field. Played up top. Clark turns it to Williams, and Greenspan just kicks it high. 80th minute, no score. This time it did work. They ping it up 40 yards, able to chest it down, and then they give it right back. Sanchez pushed from behind, crashing in there, the sub, Jordan Lee. Registration for the 2014 NSCA Convention is now open. Join 10,000 of your coaching peers for soccer's biggest party this January 15 through 19, right down the road here in Philadelphia. We guarantee that you'll learn something new from the world's best clinicians and gain new connections by attending one of the many networking socials at the convention. You can even get your coaching diplomas during the week. Exciting time. Visit nsca.com/convention for all the event details. Played back to Williams. Williams can't get around Vogel. Vogel will find Sanchez. Sanchez limits himself to 2 touches max as it falls here now to Sheba. Sheba back in. Squared back to Vogel making the run. Did it go off of Navy? It didn't. Vogel mishit it.
Yeah, it's funny. It did look that way a little bit, but didn't go off of Navy. And again, a decent attack by the Naval Academy getting forward, but shots not just not going on target. But Dean, I got to go back. You talk about the NSCA convention. I'm a little surprised at you, Dean, you know, for missing out on one of the main attractions of the NSCA convention, you know, when you come to Philadelphia. Cheesesteaks. You get to go down and decide whether it's Pat or Geno's.
That's
okay?
right.
And we got so many people who haven't been here. That's why they have to come. There'll be shuttles all the time from the hotels to Pat and Geno's all night long.
Well, Keith, I remember that Bucknell game where we teased the convention the last time it was in Philadelphia. And, of course, we talked about those cheesesteaks. That'll be great. Down near the end line, played back here by Navy. Bucknell, of course, will be in the Patriot League tournament, right, Keith?
Yeah, Bucknell is in the tournament, and Holy Cross is in the tournament with Navy and Army, and then still to be decided with Colgate, American, Boston University, all fighting for another spot, as well as Lafayette. And
Navy.
You know, congratulations to Bucknell coach Brandon Nash for getting his team into the Patriot Leagues, and they're one of the teams almost always into the finals, and we'll see which other team can get there. Last couple of years, American University has hosted the tournament, winning first place, but they're fighting hard tomorrow. They need to probably need to beat Colgate. I think they beat Colgate, they get in. If they don't, they need some help, and it's kind of exciting for the Patriot League as well. We had that excitement Wednesday night with the Colonial Athletic Conference going down to the final night as well.
Youth clubs and players want to be noticed by the top college programs, and the NSCA can help. Through its partnership with Elite Tournaments, the NSCA College Showcase connects you with college coaches so you can show off your talents. Clubs, players, and college coaches can find more information at nscaa.com/events. American University thinking about changing their nickname to the Tabatsniks.
But they cannot fit that on the uniform, so they will probably stay with the Eagles.
Of course, I say that because Keith Tabatsnik, one of the best right backs you will find during his days at American. Back to Williams. Williams trying to play it into space. Doobie, good defending. And Doobie's a player that actually went to the bench, but I really like him at left back.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and especially when he gets into the attack. I mean, it's almost unfair to say put him down at left back because most of the time we've seen him in the front third of the field. We're talking about American University and defenders, and one of the assistant coaches for David Brand is Nate Baker, who was an outstanding defender for American University, and now in early stages of what I think will be a really good coaching career for him.
Handball on Army, quickly restarted the other way as overtime is looming here at PPL Park. Turning is Sheba. Sheba has brought a ton of energy in front of his hometown fans here. It's got to be a thrill for him. Great ball here to Sheba. Sheba plays it into space. Sent back on the Craig. Oh, off the post and a goal. No, the flag is up. They won't count it on the rebound. Lurking there was Sopko, and it doesn't count.
Well, I tell you what, that was really close because he came from a fair distance back to get on that rebound. Now, having said that, as we look at this shot, let's look at him. Now, I do not think he was offside when that shot was hit.
Look at it again.
Yeah, right there, he was not offside when that shot was hit. That was clearly not a good call. And you know, right now, shots hit now. He is at least has a yard, and at the worst, he's even, which means he should be on, and that goal should have counted.
Boy, how do you make that call? It wasn't like it was.
I don't know how you make it, but it's either not paying attention, at one thing, or getting caught by surprise, with something at all. But that I didn't think it looked offside when it happened in the run of play, and then you look at that, and clearly on the replays, you can clearly see that he was onside.
Here's Williams. We'll take the shot. We'll ask Ryan Kozlowski to keep that on file. Next opportunity, we'll try to take one more look at that last offside. Not quite yet here. Throw in for Army.
And here it is, and shot right there, and there's no question. He was okay. He beat the Army defenders who were sleeping.
Throw in back for Army.
And I will say something. I mean, not that the referee would do it too often, but he was standing really close there, and himself maybe should have seen that was not the correct call and waved that off. The referee was right at the 18, watching that whole play, and
yeah, you worked that hard as well. I mean that doesn't matter, but I mean
yeah.
That was. I tell you, there's not been too many crystal clear calls like that one, Keith. Right?
No, exactly, and I don't think that was bang bang either. It wasn't like the ball's hit and it was like, is he even or off? I mean, he was the proper side to begin with. We'll see what happens. Army can take advantage of dodging that bullet.
Far post, can't get it over Greenspan.
I'm saying you're not going to do it trying to get the ball over Greenspan.
So here comes Navy, perhaps robbed of a goal. It happens. Army wins it right back. He'll slip and fall to the ground. Sanchez quickly plays it out to Doobie. Doobie will play it into space. Sheba, who was involved in that last opportunity, will lose it this time. It'll be a throw-in for Russell Payne's Army team, loaded with freshmen and sophomores. Played up to Lee. He'll lose touch. Sheba plays it back. One back again by Army. Here's Vosvik, number 5, as it's played out wide again here now to Alex Clark. Clark on it again. Played in the middle there to number 20. The referee just letting them play here.
Yeah, I think he was seeing what would happen if they were able to keep the ball, and Navy did, so it was a planned advantage there. But, I hate to belabor the point, but those calls like that can be the difference in getting into the NCAA tournament, because Navy cannot really afford, in my opinion, to even tie a game if they do not win the Patriot League tournament. They're on the bubble at 41 in the RPI, and none of the teams are going to play have a better RPI. So, a loss or a tie brings them down. And, like a season, runs to just one, call usually. But that was clearly could be a critical one if they don't get a goal back. And really critical if Army ends up winning the game.
Here's who we thought was the goal scorer as it's played over there to Sopko, who's looked good off the bench for Coach Dave Brandt. And Sopko was there for the rebound, taking the shot from Bascom and putting it in. Now left side here, Doobie, Navy not settling here. As we walk you into minute 89. We'll have some added time. Doobie now back to his left foot. Cleared, and Greenspan has Vogel in support. They'll play it quickly to Vogel, 6'5" to 6'4". Sanchez sits right in front of him. Sanchez on the second touch, plays it quickly. Arnold trying to get back in. Meanwhile, Bascom has looked good, number 11. He'll come all the way over to Bussey. And now Bussey will come back to his goalkeeper, Gavin Snyder. Snyder will bomb at 50 plus. I like where it falls. Here's Doobie. Doobie now, 89th minute. On the turn is Sheba. Sheba trying to attack.
Yeah, trying a bit too much there, actually. 3 defenders to try to go by, and he's got to get that ball moving for Navy. And he stays down, Sheba, but his players keep going.
He needs to get up. Alex Evans not able to connect. We're in the final minute here. And of course, college soccer counts down, so that's what we have.
Boy, that was close with the keeper coming out at that stage. It was almost a little, you take it, I take it sort of thing, and miscommunication.
Sheba on the turn. Keith, sorry, Sheba. One extra dance step right there.
He's doing too much, and needs to. The defenders are now getting one or two around him. If he just plays a 1-2, he could play himself right in behind the defense. But 20 seconds left in regulation. And we're looking, Dean, like yet another overtime game in our package, and they have been exciting games.
And the referee will let them count down. They'll make the subs as we go to overtime. Should have been over, but the offside flag is up. And after 90 minutes of play, it's Army 0, Navy 0. We're going to take a break and come back with Overtime Soccer on NSCAA TV.
For more than 200 years, the United States Military Academy has developed cadets into leaders of character. By training bodies, educating minds, and inspiring hearts, the Academy molds young men and women into commissioned officers who serve selflessly in the United States Army.
Hey, Missy. Sorry I'm late.
That's okay. I just don't want you boys to be late for your big game. Okay, have fun. I'll be right here after the game.
Continental Tire, the official tire of Major League Soccer.
Tra-la-la, tra-la, tra-la, pleasure.
Registration for the 2014 NSCAA Convention is now open. Join 10,000 of your coaching peers for soccer's biggest party this January 15 through 19 right here in Philadelphia. We guarantee that you will learn something new from the world's best clinicians and gain new connections by attending one of the many networking socials. You can even get your coaching diplomas during the week. Visit nscaa.com/convention for all event details. Overtime Soccer Army Navy Cup 2 PPL Park, and what a great way to end the Division I college soccer special season on NSCAA TV.
No, again, both with the excitement of just being Army-Navy, but the game should be over, in my opinion. Just a few minutes before the end of regulation, this ball played in. Have a look at it again. He was flagged offsides. That's Patrick Sopko right there. Look as we stop it there. Great job, Ryan, stopping right there. That is clearly not offsides. This is a bad call, and unfortunately, for Navy, it means that they're in overtime. Anything can happen, and they should be walking out of here with their 9th win, actually. And there they are huddling up. And now you can't leave. You have to forget that and just move on.
I'll tell you what. If we could just take a look at that one more time, you even see the center backs. The center backs have their faces down, dejected. Now watch after this happens.
Yes,
go ahead and keep going.
And go now.
All right, boom, it scores. Go ahead, keep going, Ryan.
Yeah, and you can see him outside.
Now watch. Watch the center
And they
back.
know it, yeah.
Look, it's like hands to the face. Now watch him when he realizes it. There it goes.
And Ryan, what you see, if you see that, yeah, no one's calling for offsides. And you'd say that's like always the first thing they're calling for. When they know it's not offsides, you're calling for offsides. So I think everything there says that should have been a goal. And however, for the coach now, for Army and Russell Payne, it's like, okay, guys, we survived that. Now anything can happen. It's a brand new ball game. It's a one-shot game. For Navy, same thing. You got to say, okay, maybe we should be walking off the field with the win now. We're not. All right. If we're going to be the team we want to be in the program we want to be, we get out there and we just do the job and try to get this goal and win the game anyways. So both teams playing number 1 team and number 2 team in the Patriot League. Navy with a perfect 8-0-0, almost 9-0-0. We'll see what happens. And Army with just an outstanding year, one of their best years in a long, long time at 6-1-1 in conference, 12-2-2 overall, and Russell Payne's 4th year, and that again is after 3 years of double-digit losses. What a turnaround. A lot to be proud of no matter what happens tonight and in the Patriot League tournament.
So overtime, Navy over the ball. And they continue to fire that cannon, and each and every time Keith Tabatsik loses a year. Vogel. As we throw in back to Army.
And these are 2 10-minute periods, but a goal ends it. Golden goal in college soccer since 1997. That's why we always called it a one-shot game. No matter how you've been doing in the game, you get to overtime, you can put it all away with one.
Sanchez, middle of the field. Navy has controlled a great deal of the play, but it's not like Army hasn't had chances. They tried to take advantage, I should say, a little better of some lapses in the back by Navy, but not able to put it on frame. Arnold, boy, Dubiowski was making that run.
Almost had him through.
Scored back to Bussey. They'll switch it here to Doobie. Played quickly to Sanchez. Sanchez trying to find it back here. Doobie, one touch, left foot, back across, looking for Dubiowski. It'll fall to Sanchez. Sanchez, one touch, second, third. That's the most he's taken in one sequence as he tried to find Arnold. And Arnold will run back. They'll let it go out of bounds and a goal kick back to Army.
Yeah, unfortunately, Doobie going forward, and that cross is, he saw a couple players in the box he wanted to play to, and just a common mistake when you try to put the cross right to them. Of course, they're moving, and so by the time the cross comes in, it gets in behind, and the defender's able to clear that out easily for Army.
Winston Bolt, 12 shutouts on the season to lead the country. That's strong. Fries back to Sanchez. Now Vogel. Here comes Doobie. Doobie. Played up top. Dubiowski, what a flick. Boy, what a great idea. Eyes in the back of his head. Arnold plays it into space. It'll fall to the feet here now. Back across. Making that brilliant run was Guy Scored. He's a holding mid. Made a run of 40 yards and almost got it back. Vogel out wide to Doobie. All Navy right now here in overtime, picking up where they left off. Doobie gets out in front of him. Tough ball for himself. He almost hurt himself. Army can counter as the midshipmen were pressing. Now the Black Knights. Clark. Dubiowski comes back. Look at the work of Dubiowski. I'm not sure that ball went out of bounds.
No, it didn't. No, and they're still playing there too. And this, Army's gotten caught a few times just being a bit casual, thinking they have more time than they do. And the truth is, even if you have time, you shouldn't be taking it. You just keep the ball moving and get a sense of urgency going a little bit.
What a great job the Philadelphia Union and their staff have done on this pitch as well. You're talking about November 8th, and the pitch looks like it's a spring day. It's beautiful.
you got to be happy if you're the Big East, going to be playing their semis and finals here. And, of course, the College Cup, December 13th and 15th, also here at PPL Park.
That might be a little cold. Sanchez. Left side. Falls to the feet here of Bascom. Bascom has been dynamic as well for Dave Brandt's team. Sanchez, great fake. So simple.
Miscommunication there, obviously.
And now Russell Payne will do his shift change, bringing on 3 players. Coming into the game, Cody Gary. Also number 12, Jason Lewis back in.
And I think, overall, if you look at it, Army's probably had to do a lot more work. They overall defended more and chased a lot more against the speed that Navy has had going at them. And late in the game, probably have a couple of those players in key positions that Russell Payne is a little concerned about if the fatigue is in, that it can be taken advantage of. Right now, I think Army should just not swing this around the back. They're getting everybody up, but
they try to go down the right side. Navy's so big, though. You're right. Look at them. It's just, they're a foot taller than.
Well, they're so big, and that's just kicking and hoping something happens. There's no real design there, and they had 3 versus 1 in the back, and you play it around back, and then the Navy defense has to come out, and then maybe you have space to go to.
As you mentioned, Navy with not a blemish in their Patriot League, but it could be a tie. Tough call, though, here. In the final 5 minutes, it looked like Navy had the goal as Sopko was there, but the offside flag was up.
And I do believe there was only one person in the park who thought that was offside. Unfortunately, the one who had the flag.
Army now keeping it on the pitch just the way the coach called for. And a foul on Greenspan. And now this will give Army a much better opportunity, I would say, Keith.
Yeah, a little closer. And of course, I go back to what I said before. They got to get some good movement in the box first, because they got Greenspan standing there, close to just off the penalty spot, and anything that comes in that area that's obviously high, he's going to get. You got to get some runners in front of him.
Yeah, Greenspan just standing right there. They'll go
there
right
he is,
to Greenspan.
right to it.
It's like a magnet. Ooh, tough ball out of the back. This is dangerous. 3-on-3. Can Dubioski get it out wide? He can. Tough ball for Sheba. He stays with it. Hard tackle coming in, as it's not Sheba. It's Fries. It'll go out of bounds. They'll say off of Fries. They don't like that call either. Nick Williams will come back in now for Russell Payne's Army team. Of course, Russell Payne, the former Maryland Terp, fantastic goalkeeper. He's also part of Tad Ramos' staff on the U20, the U.S. Under-20 team.
Substitution. Now leaving the match, number 15, Jeff Fries.
So Fries will come out. And here comes Alex Evans. Got 2.5 minutes left here in the first overtime. Golden goal. Doobie, marked by Williams. Doobie can't get around Clark. Now he does. Doobie still on it. Doobie gets it back, big and strong. It'll fall. Could be here. And a save by Winston Bolt, right to Bolt.
And unfortunately, well, that was really good. Scored, has a good chance at the top here. The ball left there. It might have been a foul, actually, on Arnold, but a play go, and he leaned back a little bit, not able to get everything on it. And, rolling quite well to him, though. It was a perfect chance there, 20 yards out.
90 seconds left. Army 0, Navy 0. Army, Navy Cup 2. 80th meeting between these two.
80th meeting, absolutely, and I'll tell you what, every one of them means more for most of them than the rest of the season, with the possible exception of a season for Navy back a ways in their history when they actually won the national championship in 1964. I think that might have meant more to them than their Army-Navy game that year.
Navy leads the all-time series 38, 27, and 14. Their first meeting in 1934. Into space, Dubioski. Dubioski on the turn, could be right here. And with 30 seconds left, if you were scoring this at home, if it was a fight in Las Vegas, I think Navy would be up on the scorecard.
They would be up on the scorecard, and Sam Bascom had the chance for Navy right there to try to get just inside on the end of that cross right before and couldn't quite do it. 10 seconds.
100 minutes, not going to be enough. We have more soccer here on the final Division I game as part of the college soccer special on NSCAA TV, and the cannon goes off again. Let's take a break and come back for the second overtime. Army 0, Navy 0, PPL Park.
For more than 200 years, the United States Military Academy has developed cadets into leaders of character. By training bodies, educating minds, and inspiring hearts, the Academy molds young men and women into commissioned officers who serve selflessly in the United States Army.
Welcome back to PPL Park. A wonderful crowd here. Army, Navy, as we wish all our veterans a happy Veterans Day and a big Veterans Day weekend as we pan through this fantastic crowd here in Chester, PA. And it's been a great day here at PPL.
Here it is, and the fans getting their money's worth into overtime, starting the second overtime period. 10 more minutes at the most left in this match. They're playing for the Gold Star. The players who win the game, whichever team, they get a Gold Star to wear around as bragging rights on their letterman's jacket. We do not know what happens actually if it's a draw. But this is the bragging rights. It's a Gold Star here. I think it's a Silver Star when you play Air Force, and the big star game here and the big rivalry in Army-Navy Cup 2. And what a success it has been at PPL Park, Dean, and I'm sure this is going to be the venue for years to come.
All right, 100 minutes, not enough here with Army and Navy. Last year it ended in a 1-1 tie here in Army-Navy Cup 1. 10 minutes to try to find a winner. One more cannon shot just for good measure.
Oh, I think there may be another somewhere. I don't know.
Army out of a cannon here. They come down top of the 18. It's loose. Boy, and Williams just almost ran right into one on the far side as it's picked up by Snyder. And Boy, you mentioned the cannon. Out of a cannon, here comes Army.
I was just going to say that cannon was right off the marks and straight forward, as direct as you can get to try to go in.
Army in the stripes. And tripped up is Doobie, as he's clipped over there by Alex Clark. Snyder now.
Now, what I've liked in this overtime is Dean, of course, both teams, both teams still going for it and trying to play the same way that they've been approaching the game from the beginning.
Dubioski.
There's Sanchez.
Sanchez lays it back here to Dubioski. Bascom back across, looking for Arnold. Bascom puts pressure, it'll fall to Doobie. Doobie. Now Bussey. Somehow that plays all the way through to Arnold. Great touch by Arnold. Over to the left side. Bascom will leave it now. Doobie sends it in. Far post all the way across. Falls to Arnold. And not on frame.
Yeah, no, he did not take it off his chest the way that he wanted to, but really good movement by Navy getting that ball forward, and an excellent decision to head that ball back across by Alex Evans for the Naval Academy. And Arnold probably getting his best chance, or potential chance that he's had all night right there. If you take it off his chest down a little bit, instead popping up, maybe he gets that on target.
Bascom. They'll give him the whistle now. Let's see if they'll wait for everybody to get involved. Scored will hold it up, and he'll wait for Sanchez and that great right foot.
Wait for Sanchez to get over there, and of course for the big men to get up from the back, Vogel and Greenspan.
And here they come. Vogel tripped just a moment. It'll go off his head. It'll fall near the end line. Back across. Boy, Arnold, if he just keeps making that run.
Well, exactly. You know, why not make the run to the front post? It's going to come on the ground, and then you're going to beat it. You know, it's your only chance to really get there first. You know, it was about the only spot he could have gone to. He's got 7 players behind him that can cover any ball that goes over.
Foul on Army, back to Navy. Cody Gary. Bascom. Sam Bascom, and he's pushed from behind, and he'll earn another free kick. And boy, let's see if Army can continue to survive all these fouls.
And the referee is going to the books for that one. So again, you got the big guys up there, and Navy creating a very good chance the last time with a free kick almost in the same spot.
Ladies and gentlemen, yellow card has been issued to Army's number 6, Christian Owen.
Player goes down. Look at Greenspan. He's out of his jersey. That's Vogel, rather, who was completely undressed, and he doesn't get the call. Williams, player wide open on the far side for Army. Do they see him?
No, I tell you, and he's facing him too as well, and tries to slide it. This is one of the things that, especially when you're playing against a team, and I do think Navy's a bit quicker and faster. You need to let the ball do that work. You hold it at your feet when you got him open. It just makes it easier for the defense.
Greenspan comes over, just a soft little shoulder bump. Dubioski does a great job to get it to Sanchez. Sanchez, somehow that ball stays in bounds. It doesn't go out of bounds here on the right side. Now they'll knock it out. Russell Payne telling him to do so as an Army player is down.
Yeah.
As
Sean Mogan.
Mogan's down as Ethan Spivak trying to get into the game, along with number 16, Nick Baetti.
And the decision here, of course, for Russell, with any player goes down, and in the overtime periods, if you come out of the period, you cannot go back in. So any players coming out right now are done for the rest of the evening, which at the most is just under 5 minutes left. And he is bringing in number 2, Joseph Chabris.
Army substitution now in the match is number 2, Joseph Chabrias.
Correct that, Joseph Chabrias. It's that can that got me shook up on that name, on the names, you know.
Army now. Williams near the end line. Baskin will clean it up.
Tell you, that was a good ball in behind the Navy defense. Williams needed to just show a little acceleration and belief.
Scored, dangerous ball, taken back by Army. Greenspan just gives up all 6'5" of that frame to knock it back. And here's a good ball from Sanchez. Left side, into space. Here comes Scored. Scored with one man to beat. He's knocked to the ground. Will they give it to him? Yeah, they will finally. They had to. They were going to see if he could spin out of it.
Yeah, no, he tried to play through it, and it was interesting because it was a hard tackle, and the referee's right on top of that to say that there was too much body on that. And
back in, dangerous. Arnold was there to fall, and the hammer time from Greenspan, and Navy will win it.
Well, Dean, just look at that. This is what this game means to these teams. Navy with Joseph Greenspan getting on the end of that. They scored twice tonight. They got credit for one, and it was won the game for them, and that was his 6th goal of the year. And, boy, what a match he played on both ends of the field. And look at the celebration there for Navy. They will win the Army-Navy Cup tonight.
Got chills. You got the U.S. flag right there. Two unbelievable programs, Army and Navy, laying it all on the line. And, you talk about patriotism and everything else here, Keith. Just, wow, this is awesome.
No, it is great to see. And here's the goal again. And it's Arnold knocking it up. Kind of missed flicking the ball, isn't he? He's trying to flick it over, but he's going to say that's exactly where he wanted that to go. Greenspan coming right on. What a connection. What a volley. And that is just picture perfect textbook way to finish. And look at that celebration. And if that game was still going on, he would have gladly taken a yellow card for that celebration, but he will not have to for that. And congratulations to Greenspan, and congratulations to Navy going unbeaten in regular season. And, of course, let's congratulate Russell Payne and Army with an outstanding game and wish them both good luck in the Patriot League tournament.
And now you see the great sign of sportsmanship right in the middle of the field as well, as Army and Navy shaking hands. Whew. Incredible game here at PPL Park. Great way to end the season as we thank Joe Cummings and Chris Burt and Christine Mason and Rob Kehoe and Monique Bowman and Pat Madden, Steve Veal, everybody at the NSCAA offices for putting together another great season of college soccer. on NSCAA TV.
Yeah, absolutely, and what a way to finish it on I would say one of the best strikes of the year that we've seen. While it may have been a missed flick by Arnold, the strike was picture perfect for Navy to win the game, I think deservedly so. And another look at this, just perfect on his left foot. Greenspan all over the field tonight, defensively covering everything just a minute before smothering a chance, and there we go for that goal. And I'll tell you what, he's going to be looking at that quite a few times in his career and his life. What a way to finish.
All right, for our producer, Ryan Kozlowski, and everybody at Turbo Sports as well. My broadcast partner, the former coach at Georgetown, Keith Tabatsnik. It's been another great season, Keith. I'm Dean Linke saying so long from PPL Park, where your final score, Navy 1, Army 0. You saw it all right here on NSCAA TV.